world and welcome to my channel. So today I thought we would get a blast from the past and take a look at the very first sketchbook I have ever completed. This sketchbook is from 2019 and I thought we would just take a look and see what I was drawing at that time, see how much I have improved since then, and maybe give you a couple ideas of how to fill your sketchbook. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. Okay guys, so here is my very first sketchbook I have ever completed. I actually made this sketchbook. It was the very first sketchbook I made as well. I still think it turned out really good. I used this really gold paper, which I think turned out really nice, even though it does have some wear on the edges now just from use. I think it's still one of the best sketchbooks I've made. So I actually made this sketchbook towards the end of 2019, so that's about around the time when this artwork had been completed. So let's go ahead and open it up to the first page. Okay, so here is the title page of my sketchbook. I still think this is one of my better galaxies that I have done. I wanted something pretty simple and stuff, though the wording is kind of bothering me now because it's not centered. On this side, I just have some swatches of some watercolor metallic pencils. So let's go ahead and move on to the next page. So here are some of those watercolor pencils in use. I did this little doodle of a flower. And then on this page, this was actually the year where I got my first Copic markers. So you'll see them a lot in this sketchbook because I just went crazy with them because I love them so much. This is a little pattern I did and I love doing these roses with my markers. I did this little butterfly. I remember drawing the butterfly and then later going back and adding this little rose detailing. I actually really like that. That rose turned out pretty good. And then on this side, you can see I swatched my markers on the back page, so there's some bleed through. But these are my Copic markers. Again, I did this little kind of like scene with the sunset and the cityscape. Okay, so here is the page. You can see these are the very first Copic markers I got. I remember it was like a sale and like the Copics were like $2 each or something, like a really huge discount. And I was like so excited, so pumped. And like I got home from school when I found out about the sale and I was like, Mom, you need to take me to the craft store. We gotta go get these markers. And so I got a whole bunch of colors and so pretty. And I did this little drawing on this side using the Copic markers again, kind of the moon and the mountains, just like a little doodle. So on this page I did a little bit of like, I guess, scrapbook-esque. I drew this little unicorn on like a separate piece of paper and I colored him in and I cut him out, and I wanted to create like a little scene for him. So I had some craft paper and I laid it down and I cut out little pieces for like the flowers, and I did some book pages. You'll see that a lot in the sketchbook as well, where I cut out book pages and I create like a background for a drawing that I do. And then on this side I drew this unicorn cat, I guess because I wanted it to match the pink of this unicorn. I feel like his face looks slightly wonky, like he's like staring you down or something, like glaring up at you, but I guess cats do that anyway, so I guess it's realistic. And then on this page, this is also another little ritter I drew on another sheet of paper and I cut out and I just pasted them in. Now this is one drawing that I still really like. I just love the colors and the rainbows and stuff, and I love how the fish is just so flowy and nice. And I added these little bubbles too, which I think turned out really good and it adds a little extra something. Aww, I remember when I did this one. So there is a story that goes along with this one. This poor little narwhal broke his horn. He's super sad, and the little bear character from the other page, from this page, is bringing him ice cream to make him feel better. And I remember doing this in like IHOP or something, so maybe that's why food was on my mind with the ice cream and stuff. Okay, so here we are starting to get into some inks. This is around September and Inktober was coming up, and I really wanted to do Inktober this year. It would be my first year doing this big art challenge. I was like super excited, so I wanted to like prep and prepare. So I did a lot of experimenting. So on this page I kind of like blew bubbles into the ink, and so it created this little like bubble splash texture. It kind of splattered everywhere, as you can see, like all over the place. And I tried to fix it by painting white at the top because this is all splattered too. But I think it looks pretty good. Here you see I do the book pages again with the background, and I did more of that like splatter technique with the bubbles and the ink. And I drew a little hummingbird. I still really like this hummingbird. He turned out so cute. And then on this side I have this tulip. And then on this page I drew this little foxy. This is like my only like full spread in this sketchbook where I did like the full like one image on both pages, which I really like. I wish I did more of that. I feel like that would have been cool. But I tried to attempt to do like drips and then have this like fox running. And I seem to really like these bubbles because they are everywhere now. I did it all in the ink. And it's funny because even though I did this technique a lot on these pages, I didn't do it so much for when I did Inktober. I'm kind of like surprised about that now because since I liked doing this so much, I'm surprised I didn't do it more, you know? But maybe because this was a bit messier and I didn't have as much time, I guess? I don't know. But you'll see when we come up to it. Okay, and then on this page, this is a little flower I did. I tried to like do like a more painting style with the inks, so I used a paintbrush and kind of painted with the ink and kind of layered them up, and I think it turned out really cute. I really like the different definitions of like the leaves and stuff. On this side, at our school, because I was still in high school when I was doing this sketchbook, and our library actually had a cat. So you would just go into the school's library and there would be like a cat wandering around. If like a person in the school had like allergy to cats, they would put the cat up, but most of the time he was just out roaming about, and he was sitting on the windowsill, and so I decided to kind of try to draw him. I think my cats have gotten a little bit better. His face kind of looks unsymmetrical. Like all the cats' faces in the sketchbook just look kind of sus, you know? But you know what? At least I have improved. So this page starts off Inktober. I think this is about like halfway through my sketchbook. Each page is one of the days. So this is day 1, day 2, day 3. What I found out about doing this challenge is that I cannot draw every day. For some reason, like I don't know if it's like burnout or just, I don't know, but when I consciously try to draw every day, my artwork doesn't turn out as good, you know? And I feel like everybody's can draw the time every day, and some people busy breaks in between. I was really focused, you know, just feel like drawing because some days I didn't feel like it, and you could really tell in my artwork because I just didn't have time at all, which you can also tell. And it might be hard to sit down and really focus and, you know, create. And when you're reading like that, it's not always the case when you're working on your schedule. Sometimes you're not moving one day or something. So I feel like some people can draw these days, that's so happy, but me, I'm just not. Some of these drawings I'm for you are very embarrassing. Okay, so don't judge me too harshly. I'm going to show you that not every artwork has to be this natural beautiful thing. You can have some drawings that are just not good. Nobody can do it all the time. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at this, okay? Don't judge me too harshly, okay guys? So on this page, the first day of Inktober, the prompt was ring, and I did this little mushroom ring, and this drawing turned out pretty good. I was like, oh yeah, starting off strong. I got this, right? Little did I know it was gonna go downhill. On this page, I seem to really like this bear character because I drew him again. And this one, day 2, the prompt was mindless. And so I drew the little bear losing his marbles. And then this drawing, I don't really like that much. So the word was bait. Okay, and so you have his food down here, but the cat's still looking at the ice cream. I don't know what that has to do with bait though, because he's not really being baited with the ice cream to like catch him or anything. It's more like he just wants the ice cream over his food. I don't know where my mind was with this one. So on this page, the word was freeze. So I did the little bear character again, kind of stopping traffic for the mama duck and the little duck. So then on build, I clearly had a lot more time because I actually still kind of like this drawing. This little birdie building his nest for his family, and I really like how I did the line art and then the inks underneath. I think it looks super cute. So then we move on to these next pages, and these two actually turned out pretty good. So day 6 was husky, and I came up with a corn husk. I think most people just drew the dog husky, but of course I like to be different and special, so I drew this corn cob. And then on this day, Enchanted, I wanted to draw this cute little chipmunk and this little tiny outfit, and he's eating a little acorn. I don't know, I just really like this drawing. He's just so cute. I still really like this. So then we turn the page and we move on to day 8, which was frail. So this ledge was very frail and he slipped and he's kind of falling, but I didn't want him to die, so I put a little branch here so he could catch himself and be safe. And then on this page it was swing, so I thought of like, you know, jazz music and stuff. So I drew a trumpet playing some jazz music, and I always thought jazz was very colorful and like bright, so I did a lot of bright colors and kind of mixed them in. Okay, then we move on. Day 10 was pattern, so I did a tiger because I always liked the pattern of a tiger. I think my tigers have gotten a lot better. Like I started practicing like more with proportions and stuff, because again, the cat's face in the sketchbook all look kind of sus. Like this one looks like it's gonna like murder you in your sleep or something. So day 11 I did snow. I really like the splatters on the black ink. I think it turned out really good. And I just did some snow covered mountains and like a snowscape type thing. So then we move on to day 12 and day 13. I actually really like this one. It's the day 12 was dragon, so I drew a cat begrudgingly wearing a dragon costume, and I think he turned out super cute. I do gotta say, this challenge did push me to think kind of outside the box and draw things that I probably wouldn't normally draw, and I think he looks so angry. And then on this day, the prompt was ash, so I drew a volcano. I think it turned out pretty good. I did a pop of red, kind of like the glowing of the lava coming out. Day 14 and 15, overgrown. I did kind of this overgrown shed. Day 15, I did this dream catcher. Day 16 was wild, so I drew this horse. His eyes kind of look like insects or something. I have no idea, but it still looks good. Day 17 was ornament, and I drew a succulent. I'm not sure where my thought process was for that. Maybe because it's like a ornamental plant. Okay, these next 2 pages. Okay, these days I had absolutely no time. Okay, and I think by this point I was starting to get tired of like drawing every day. So please do not judge what you were about to see, because it is bad, really bad. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. So day 18 was this little duck. His misfits was like the ugly duckling was kind of my idea for it. He turned out okay. And then on this page, I don't know, it just, don't look at this page. It just looks bad, looks really bad. Okay, day 20 was tread. So I did this kind of girl walking, listening to music with her footsteps turning into like these little characters, little ghosties kind of happily singing along to the music or whatever. Day 12 was treasure. So I did the ocean kind of revealing all of its little treasures of seashells and stuff. And I really like this one. I like how I did the water and stuff. I think it turned out pretty good. Day 22 was ghost. Again, another sus cat face. I remember messing it up and having to redo the face, so I guess this was just what I settled on. Day 23 was ancient, so I drew this little mammoth. We're starting to get to the end. Day 22 was dizzy. I drew this little dog and named him Charleston. Day 25 was a tasty, so I drew this pie. I kind of wish I put like some line art or something on it just to make it pop a bit more. So day 26 was dark, so I did another cat kind of in the darkness. Day 27 was coat, so I did a lammy lamb, because I thought of like the sheep's, you know, wool. It has a very thick coat. And then day 28 was ride, so I did these hot air balloons that you kind of like, you know, you ride in the hot air balloon, and I actually kind of like this. I think it turned out pretty good. I love the bright colors and everything. Day 29 is one of those ones that I don't really like either. This is supposed to be Charleston. It doesn't look like Charleston. It looks like a little like alien or something. I have no idea. Okay guys, don't judge me too harshly. But it was injured, so I thought little Charleston, he could like have some kind of sickness or something, and so I thought Charleston would be wearing this cone to like help him feel better and recover, but Again, the face is kind of like, I'm just not good at faces at this point with like anything. It's just bad. Okay, then we get to the last 2 pages of my sketchbook, the final days of Inktober, and this is kind of where my sketchbook ends. So day 30, I did catch, and it's this cat catching the bubbles. Once again, a very sus looking face. All of the cat's faces in the sketchbook are very sus for some reason. I don't know what I was doing at this point. And then day 31 was right, and I did a pineapple. And I think this pineapple turned out pretty good. So we at least ended on a strong note, even though there was a lot of ups and downs in these drawings. Some of them very questionable, but you know, we do what we can. Okay, so that is the end of my sketchbook tour. I hope you guys liked it and it was like interesting for y'all to watch. I don't know how this video is gonna turn out, but we shall see. I thought it would be like a fun little video just to look back and kind of see how I've improved and the progress that I have made since making this sketchbook in 2019. And this was actually the very first sketchbook I had completely filled up, so I was very proud of it. And I had made the sketchbook, I had filled it up, so like all of it just coming together was just really fun and exciting, and it's nice to see how my art journey has progressed since completing my first sketchbook. Well, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look into one of my old sketchbooks. I do have a couple of other completed sketchbooks if you would like a tour of those as well, so please let me know down in the comments, and I will see y'all later. Bye!